It's 1978. Sunday. Roast finished. Plates stacked. Someone says pudding's ready. You don't know which one yet, but you catch 3 clues at once. Warm butter, sweet spice, sharp lemon. Therefore, before dessert even appears, everyone is already focused on the kitchen door. In 70s and 80s Britain, childhood desserts worked in a strict rhythm: comfort, school, celebration, and the third category usually decided who asked for seconds first. Bread and butter pudding began with basic cupboard logic. Sliced bread, butter, raisins, milk, eggs, sugar, nutmeg. But to a child, it never felt like economy cooking. Therefore, once baked, it felt like payoff: crisp top, soft middle, steam rising as the spoon broke through the surface. One house made it sweeter, another made it thicker, another used more fruit. But the core stayed stable. Therefore, every serving felt familiar and new at the same time. That kept attention on the table until bowls were empty. But home comfort was only the first layer of memory. School dessert followed a different system, and Manchester tart fit it perfectly. Short crust base, raspberry jam, yellow custard, coconut, 1 red glassy cherry. But unlike hot home puddings, this one was usually cold. Therefore the contrast became the hook: crumbly, sticky, cool. It stood out on grey trays. It held shape in noisy halls. It was recognized in 1 second. Decades later, people still remember the look before they remember the taste. But Sunday tables wanted higher stakes than school trays. Lemon meringue pie arrived with visible tension. Pastry shell, lemon filling, toasted meringue peaks. But the real event was the cut. If the filling ran, it failed. If the meringue wept, it failed. If the base softened, it failed. 1 clean slice became the major payoff. First crunch from pastry, then sharp citrus, then sweet meringue. The experience escalated in 3 clear steps. That escalation held attention through the whole plate. But by the late 70s, dessert was also used to signal status. Then came Black Forest Gâteau. Dark sponge, whipped cream, cherries, chocolate shavings. But in Britain, its strength was not novelty alone. Therefore, serving it signalled something social: modern taste, dinner party ambition, continental style. Children read sweetness, adults read effort, guests read occasion. 1 cake delivered 3 meanings at once. That is why it stayed culturally loud through the 70s and into the 80s. But there was 1 cake with an even stronger reveal moment. Pineapple upside-down cake started plain. Pineapple rings in the tin, cherries in the centres, brown sugar and butter underneath, sponge batter on top. But the payoff was delayed. The key moment was the flip. Tin lifted, cake inverted, surface revealed. Golden sponge, glossy pineapple, bright cherry points. Low-cost tinned fruit turned into high-impact presentation. It was practical, visual, repeatable. It became a frequent family table winner. But 1 dessert pushed beyond reveal into pure contradiction. Baked Alaska combined sponge base, ice cream core, and sealed meringue, then went briefly into high heat. But the logic sounded impossible: hot outside, frozen inside. Therefore curiosity spiked before the first bite. If timing slipped, it collapsed. If sealing failed, it melted. If slicing failed, the reveal died. Therefore success felt dramatic, and rarity increased memory. It appeared less often, but when it appeared, it dominated the meal. Bread and butter pudding delivered comfort. Manchester tart delivered school identity. Lehman meringue pie delivered tension. Black Forest Gâteau delivered status. Pineapple upside-down cake delivered reveal. Baked Alaska delivered spectacle. Different outcomes, same ingredient world: bread, eggs, milk, sugar, custard, sponge, tinned fruit, meringue. But simple ingredients did not create simple memories. These desserts endured because each one created a clear promise and a clear payoff. People did not just eat them. They waited, watched, compared, and reacted. One smell of nutmeg, one flash of cherry red, or one crack through toasted meringue can still return someone to a 70s or 80s British childhood table instantly. If this brought back your childhood, subscribe for more British nostalgia. Like the video, then send it to a friend who remembers fighting for the last slice.